Okay, back with part 4. I'm finishing up First Maccabees 16:2. It's talking about Yahudah and John. He said to them, I and my brothers in the house of my father have fought the wars of Yasharal from our youth until this day. They fought these wars from their youth, from when they were old enough to fight in the wars. They fought from their youth, he says, until this day, and things have prospered in our hands, so that we have delivered Yasharal many times. So he knew, listen, the scripture says, by the works of your hand, our people don't understand this, by the works of your hand you will do righteousness, or by the works of your hand you will do wickedly. It's very important to make sure you understand you are doing some type of works by your hands, and it's either righteousness or wickedness. Okay, this is Josephus. This is the book 4, 3 and 10. I just want to bring a point out here. Listen at this. It says, truly we are in love with slavery and in love with those that master over us, as if we had received that principle of subjections from our ancestry. We didn't receive this from our ancestry, but we picked it up. See, we picked up this in love with your master. It says, yet did they undergo many and great wars for the sake of Yasharal. In other words, our forefathers, they fought many and great wars for the sake of the nation, Yasharal. And I'm going to read this out of, just to let you know where our strength comes from. You have to understand, where did our strength come from? Just to let you know, this is Dead Sea Scrolls, hymn 15. It says, you have strengthened me before the battles of wickedness. You see, he strengthens his people before the battle. That's why I say he's preparing his people right now before the battle. And during all their disasters, it says, you have permitted that fear should cause me to not desert your covenant. We should fear him and make sure we don't desert his covenant, the covenant that he had. Now, I want to show a quick clip here, just a couple minutes. And I want you to understand some of the weapons that they possess, that they have, and they are ready to use. A subscriber gave me information concerning this, and I checked it out, and they have many weapons. They have all types of weapons, but here is one, and it's called slaughter bots. And if I'm gonna leave a link for this so you can see this whole entire video, but I'm gonna just play some of it here. But this is some of the weapons that they have.
It's a big deal, but we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI.
This is AI.
It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bag is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. They used to say guns don't kill people. People do. Well, people don't. They get emotional, disobey orders, aim high. Let's watch the weapons make the decisions. Now trust me, these were all bad guys. That is an airstrike of surgical precision. It's one of a range of products. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. They cannot be stopped. Now, I said this was big. Why? Because we are thinking big. Watch. A $25 million order now buys this. Enough to kill half a city. The bad half. Nuclear is obsolete. Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free. Just characterize him, release the swarm, and rest easy. These are available today. We have a distribution network taking orders from military, law enforcement, and specialist clients.
Now, I ask you, how in the world do our people, how do we fight against this? How can we combat against this? We're fighting each other. We're all over the earth fighting each other. How are we supposed to fight against this? You see, there will be no fight. And as Daniel said, he come to make war with the righteous, and he shall overcome them and kill them very easily after they starve and kill up themselves. He will very easily kill up and slaughter the people. Now I'm about to show you the reason, the purpose of being within his borders and our fight and our protection. How are we going to do this? All right. This is 2nd Maccabees. Let me see. 2 Maccabees 3 and 24 and 25. But when he arrived at the treasury with his bodyguard. Okay, let me explain what's going on here. We have a situation where Heliodorus, he's coming to collect money or take money, and they're supposed to be doing something. He had orders from the king, and they're saying that they're doing something wicked. So he's coming in to take the money. So this is what happened. But when he arrived at the treasury with his bodyguard, he came with his bodyguard. Here they go at the treasury. There, and then there, the sovereign of Ruachs and of all authority caused so great a manifestation. There was a manifestation. There was a presence from Shamayim. There was a presence from splendor with power, might, and authority. And all who had been so bold as to accompany him were astounded by the power of Yahuah. So they was amazed at this power, and they couldn't believe it, and they became faint with terror. So you understand, when he's on the people's side, these are the things that happen. I'm showing you the manifestations of when they come to protect the Most High's people. Verse 25, for there appeared to them a magnificently compares horse with the rider of frightened mien. The countenance was very, very frightening, and it rushed furiously at Heliodorus and struck at him with its front hoofs. Its riders was seen to have armor and weapons of gold. We're going to see this in scripture over and over. They have armor and weapons of gold. 2 Maccabees 2:6-10. And when Maccabeus and his men got the word that Lysias was besieging the stronghold. So they get the word that Lysias was besieging the stronghold. Watch, this is when they attack us. I want to make sure you understand when they do attack. They and all the people, with lamentation and tears, besought Yahuah to send a good messenger to save Yasharal. So here we are. We see them praying to send what? Send help. They praying to send a good messenger. And Maccabeus himself was the first to take arms, and he urged the others to risk their lives with help to aid their brethren. So we see Maccabeus, he's the first to take up arms. He's the first to arm himself. And what are they doing? They're risking their life for the aid of their brethren. Then they eagerly rushed off together. And there, while they were still near Jerusalem, the horsemen appeared. Here's the appearance. Here's the manifestation. And their head, clothed in white, and brandished weapons of gold. They coming with weapons of gold. And they all together, Yada, the magnificent mighty one, and their strength, and they were strengthened in their heart. This is what happened. When you see the Malaks of the Most High come to help us out, the people will be strengthened, ready to assail not only men, but wild beasts or walls of iron. They advanced in battle order, having their heavenly ally. Who is our heavenly ally? The Malaks. They will be there to help the people. And I'm going to show you this in the war once we go into it. For Yahuah had favor on them. The Malaks are there to help the people. 2 Maccabees 2:1-5. And when the Kana heard that Yehudis and the men were in the region of Samaria, he made plans to attack them with complete safety. All right, this is when they come to attack. This is what I was telling you. They know when to attack. They made plans to attack them with complete safety on the day of rest. They attack on the Shabbats. Our enemy was known to attack us on Shabbat. They went in the Romans went in 70 AD. They attacked on the Shabbat. And when Yasharal were compelled to follow, he said, do not destroy so savagely and barbarously, but show respect for the day which he who sees all things has honored and kadashed above all days. He's telling them they're honoring that day. They should have respect for it. And thrice accused wretched asked if they were a sovereign in Shamaim. So he's mocking now. Is there anyone sovereign in Shamaim who had who had commanded the keeping of the Shabbat day? And when he declared this, it is a living master himself, the sovereign of Shamaim, who ordered us to observe the seventh day. So he's telling them it was the master himself who ordered us. He replied, am I a sovereign also on earth? He had power. When they get power, it goes to their head. And I command you to take up arms and finish the king's business. Nevertheless, he did not succeed in carrying out his abominable design. So he was there to attack. Okay, 2 Maccabees 2:15. No, 2. The 2 Maccabees 15:8-17. And I will not finish this. And he exhorted his men not to fear the attack of Gui, but to keep in mind the former times when help had come to them from Shamaim. So here they are about to be attacked. And he's letting them know, remember what happened in former times. And this is, we need to know what happened in former times, how he sent our people help in the time of battle, in the time of trouble. He says, and now to look for the victory which the Almighty would give them, encouraging them from the Torah and the prophets. Look where they're getting encouragement from the Torah and the prophets. Also of the struggles that they had won, all the other battles that they faced that they had won. Remember,